What's up, guys? I'm Drew, and today I thought it would be a good idea to pass on my knowledge about this game to some of you new players, considering I've seen a decent influx of people coming in and playing the game since it was a drop from Twitch during the Summer Games Fest. Let's go ahead and give it a shot, shall we? This tip is pretty quick, but it will drastically change how you complete your objectives. This is a mechanic that I did not know existed until a few days ago. Check this out. If you look in the top of my screen, you will see the compass. It is blinking currently. I am currently inside of my objective zone, but I can't find my objective. Where is it? I do actually know where it is, but for the sake of this tip, we're going to play like I don't know where it is. Again, look at my compass. It is currently blinking, which indicates that you are somewhere near it, right? Guess what? Your compass is a radar. The closer you are to your objective, the faster it will blink until you are right next to it, where it will be completely solid. I'm going to go ahead and walk away from the chest so we can see the fluctuations in the radar again. Notice how it got slower as I got further away. And it will speed back up if I get closer. Until it is completely solid, which means that you are right on top of it. The next thing is motes. And motes are actually incredibly important. The game does not tell you how to collect them, what to do with them, or why they're important. So we're going to go ahead and show you just how to do it. If you've never entered soul mode before, you can do it in either one of two ways. If you're using a controller, you either just hold down the left trigger. I'm using an Xbox controller. You hold down the left trigger, or you can just click it. If you hold it down, there are a few other things that you can get out of it, but that won't be important for the modes. The other way to do it, if you're on PC, is by pressing E, either pressing or holding E. So how we actually collect these motes is you will walk up to them in soul mode, and then if you're on controller, you will hold soul mode and press A. Or if you're on PC, you do it by just pressing E. Pretty simple. You really want to collect those motes because you don't want to end up like me, where I didn't understand just how important and impactful they were until later, so I had to run around and recollect all of my motes, and to be honest, I still haven't done that. Speaking of which, you can see which places you do and don't have motes for based off of how much of the name that is revealed. So I don't know what this place is named because I haven't collected all the motes. So that's a pretty good indicator that I have some to go collect there. And with Garen Shrine, I don't have to worry about it. With Astrologer's Watch, don't have to worry about it. Oh, I may need to go there. I got some motes to collect. It is a bit unfortunate that there are locations on the map that are not revealed to you because you have not learned the names of those locations. So it can make navigating the world a little harder. But on the flip side, it does reward you for exploration. Now, if we go back to our humble abode, what do we actually do with these motes? Well, we can actually bring them over to our lore pal over here. And once we're interacting with our lore pal, we can see just which locations we have completely uncovered. The more motes we collect, the more we will reveal of the name of each location. Now, not all of the different locations can give you a reward for collecting all the motes, at least not yet. But some locations do give you a mote as a reward for getting all the collectibles to reveal the name. So what do the motes do and how do we use them? So we can actually come over to our loadout over here. I shrunk myself so you can see this next part a lot easier, but there are both offensive and defensive motes that you can equip onto your character. And when you do select a mote, the game will give you an option of one of two that you can choose from. So you can kind of like mix and match and decide what you want based on your playstyle. So if we go into my weapon here, we can see I already have plus 15 fully charged heavy damage. So When I do a fully charged heavy attack, I will deal plus 15 extra damage with this weapon. Pretty decent, right? You can go ahead and click on an open slot, and your list of motes that you can choose from will be here. For example, I can throw on this plus 20 perfect throw damage. So now my weapon now has plus 20 perfect throw damage. And perfect throw is a mechanic that not all weapons have. It has to be unlocked in your upgrade tree. While we're in this screen, we'll go ahead and tab over on the left side here to your pact. This is where your defensive motes can be placed. I currently have 2 already, and these don't do anything major. They just adjust your stats, but more stats is good stats, right? While we're on the topic of stats, there is another thing that the game doesn't really tell you about: how stat distribution works and why it matters. If we go up to my stats here, you'll see I have 23 spirit, 13 grace, and 5 courage. The more total stats you have, the more your base life is. However, there's a couple of extra things. Your weapon scales with a certain stat. We can see that my sword here, the Solos 1, scales with spirit. It is attuned with spirit, and it has a required spirit to be able to use, which is 10. I currently have 23, so I don't have to worry about using it. And on top of that, I'm actually dealing more damage because I have more spirit. But if I want to deal more damage, why am I 13 into grace? That is because your packed abilities have different scaling depending on what stat you go into. So, for example, 5 courage is going into the left stat, my Werewalker ability. You can see that there are symbols underneath each of these different abilities, and it doesn't matter which pact you're on, these symbols will be here. They have a corresponding color, and coincidentally and conveniently, they're also kind of in the same order. So the left one goes with the left one. The middle one, Spirit, goes with the middle one, Pack Hunter. The right one, Grace, goes with the right one, Howl. So I wanted to be able to use Howl more effectively, more frequently, have it be better performing, and same thing goes with Pack Hunter. But I didn't really care too much about Werewalker. So I kind of ditched Werewalker a little bit and prioritized Pack Hunter and Howl. That's the reasoning why. Speaking of stats, this is a more recent new addition, and I've seen some confusion recently about it. Armor. How armor works is there is a total value that actually doesn't do anything. The total value is just to tell you the relative efficiency of your armor. So if I were to switch out my helmet to a worse performing helmet, let's go helmetless, that's a pretty good example, we dropped down severely in our total stat. Our total stat value, again, doesn't do anything, but it does indicate to us how well our build is. Next is the breakdown of physical, magic, and stability. Physical is how much damage you take from physical attacks. So whenever you get hit with a sword or kicked or anything like that, it's your straight up damage reduction. Magic is the same exact thing, but to magical attacks. There are plenty of enemies with magical attacks in this game. Magic defense will help with that damage. I should probably boost mine, considering mine is only 9, but it is what it is. Stability is your stagger resistance. How good are you at swinging through when you're getting hit? If I'm in the middle of swinging with my halberd, I don't want to get stopped in the middle of my attack, potentially. So stability will help with that. That's the actually pretty simple breakdown of armor stats. A common struggle that I've seen quite a few people have, and quite honestly I had when I started off, was collecting materials. How the heck do I collect materials? And then on top of that, what are odes? I don't know what they are. Odes is just simply like your currency. You don't have to worry about losing it. It's not a Souls-like in that name, despite the name of the game. And collecting materials is actually pretty simple. Collecting both odes and materials is incredibly simple. They can be dropped from enemies. See this loot on the ground? It will have and or materials and currency in it. But on top of that, I didn't know that collecting it also refills your health down in the bottom left. Your health flasks will increase every time that you pick them up. It is 1-to-1, so it is a way to have consistent health. The main ways, aside from killing enemies, that you'll be collecting your currency and your materials in this game are through chests like these, or by destroying these floating objects. Whenever you see a parachute, break it. Considering that parachute just broke, that would keen in some people that, oh, there are destructible objects in this world. That is true. There are plenty of destructible objects in this world. Let me go and find some. Crates and barrels like these can be found all over the map. You just slash into it, break it. If you're lucky enough, you'll get some loot, whether that be materials or currency. Oh, would you look at that? There's more. Now, they won't always have currency and materials in them, but it is severely more efficient to break objects for your currency and your materials than any other way in the game. So if breakable objects are scattered around the world in the open world, how do you acquire them efficiently? Why is breaking them so efficient? Why is it head and shoulders above every other way to get them? Well, it's because in dungeons like this one, they are way more abundant. All the dungeons in this game are procedurally generated, so you will have a pretty decent time while doing your farming. It kind of helps with the monotony of doing your box breaking simulator. The dungeons also have significantly more chests in them, and chests can offer you fragments for craftable items. As a bonus tip, they recently changed how the faction tails work, and while there's no other ones popping up right now, we can use this one as an example. The more stars that are above your faction tail that you're currently looking at, the longer it will be and the more rep that you will gain for that tail. We'll see if I can do the next tip here, but this one is more of a chance. The color of the soul that is glowing from the enemy when you collect it will affect, like this. See how it's the red one? Now, my red skill was not on cooldown, but what would have happened is I would have gotten a significant chunk of my cooldown for my red skill ability. Thank you so very much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed. Maybe you learned some stuff. Like I said in the video, there's quite a few things that I didn't know when I first started that I was so surprised that I actually ended up finding out about. And then on top of that, they actually changed how I play the game significantly. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you very much.